pina colada? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills and messes quicker. And it's 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to getting caught in the rain. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
WINS-HD, WNAWHD3 New York.
A radio.com station. 10 winds, Accuweather, damp ones today, more rain or drizzle through the early evening, and today's high only 46. Some clearing later tonight with a low down of 39. Tomorrow, sun mixing with clouds, nice, mild in the afternoon with a high of 55. Looking forward to that. And then Friday, rain or drizzle in the morning, but then some clouds, some sunny breaks, mild in the afternoon with a high of 58 degrees. And the weekend, Saturday, some early sun gives way to clouds, with rain arriving during the afternoon. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Tanya Mercado, our service aide. Justin Traeger, our writer. Kyle McMorrow at the editor's desk. And I'm Bridget Quinn.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 43 degrees at 3 o'clock. I'm Larry Cantor, and here's what's happening. New Jersey Governor Murphy will reserve daycare centers in the state for the children of essential workers only. New York Governor Cuomo has praise for President Trump and his team in helping to locate much-needed ventilators. Mayor de Blasio has begun a daily video message about the virus, saying April and May are going to be tough. Woodbridge moves all residents of a nursing home to another facility because their original one couldn't handle the outbreak. 1010 Winds, Accuweather. Some clearing later tonight, a low 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, high 55.
This is Andrew O'Day of Bloomberg. After a bumpy start, Wall Street is extending yesterday's gains with the Senate stimulus deal providing the fuel again. The Dow up 1,200 points.
Winds News Time, 3:01. From the 1010 Winds Traffic Center, here's Greg Rice.
A couple of big issues in New Jersey to tell you about at this hour. 17, there is a tractor-trailer fire. Turns out the wreck that caused the tractor-trailer fire also knocked down some wires. 17, either way in Paramus over Ridgewood Road or Ridgewood Avenue. That is all shut down. Further south in Jersey, 287 southbound, your exit 4 in South Plainfield. Left lane still shut down. That's the dump truck that flipped over a couple of hours ago, and that's been a mess ever since getting through that stretch. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Not exactly a lot. Everything in and out of the city in pretty decent shape. Upper East River bridges, once you're there, they're fine. But the southbound New England Thruway getting you towards the Throgs Neck, 2 lanes still shut just before the split-off. That's because of a bad-looking accident. Southbound Hutch, that does the job. Traffic sponsored by Burden LLP Accountants and Advisors. Has today's environment caused you to be uncertain about your financial future? Let Burden serve as your trusted advisor and create innovative tax solutions to help protect you, your family, and your business. Visit BERDONLLP.com. Burden Accountants and Advisors. We listen, we solve, we do. Alternate side suspended through at least next Tuesday. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Winds.
More than 700 people have tested positive for coronavirus in New Jersey since yesterday. Governor Phil Murphy says that brings the statewide total to 4,400. And he says 18 more people have died.
God bless their souls. May they rest in peace. To them, their memories and their families, our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to them.
The total number of deaths in New Jersey is now 62. The governor also announced that as of April 1st, daycare centers will be required to only mind the children of essential workers. If they cannot certify that, they will be closed. Another 4,400 people were diagnosed with coronavirus yesterday in New York State, bringing the total to more than 30,000. New York City had almost 3,000 of the 4,400 new cases, and the city's total is approaching 18,000. In this daily briefing, Governor Cuomo said the spread is slowing in Westchester with 800 new cases yesterday for a total of almost 4,700. Nassau County has almost 3,300 positives. As far as projections go, the governor figures New York is still going to need 140,000 hospital beds and 40,000 ICU slots, so the state needs more ventilators. The governor's tone regarding the Trump administration's help was greatly altered today.
30,000 ventilators is an extraordinarily difficult task. And it's something that our team is working on with the White House team. And I want to thank the president for his cooperation and his team for their cooperation. We're getting very creative. We're talking to countries around the world, as well as new companies that could do production.
The governor does have a bone to pick with Congress. He says the coronavirus relief package that the Senate settled on will not provide nearly enough money for the state. Mayor de Blasio has begun delivering a message directly to New Yorkers in a daily video.
So I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, what's going on. Every day, I'm going to offer a brief message to all New Yorkers to tell my people what's happening to all of us and to give you the best information I have. I want to make sure we're honest about the reality.
He says coronavirus will be with us for months, and it's likely that more than half of New Yorkers will be infected before it's all over. Most people, he says, will survive it, some will not. He says we're all going to have to work together to protect each other. The mayor is inviting New Yorkers to contact him with questions and observations at hashtag AskMyMayor. Coronavirus is hitting the NYPD hard. More than 3,000 officers called out sick today. So far, Police Commissioner Dermot Shea says they have all the shifts covered. Part of the police responsibility now is to remind New Yorkers to keep their social distance.
The very last thing I would want the men and women in the police department becoming the morality police, if you will, where we're having to issue summonses. I think that's a last resort, and quite frankly, I don't think we're going to get to that point. New Yorkers know what's going on. They know we're all in this together. We are going to come out of this. There is no doubt in my mind. And we're going to come out of it stronger, but we'll have to do it together.
Checking Accuweather now. Some rain and drizzle through the afternoon, then some clearing late tonight, a low 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds and a high 55. It's 43 degrees, some light rain, humidity 79%, winds northeast at 9. Repeating the current temperature, 42, heading down to 39. Queens News Time, 3:06. Authorities in Woodbridge are now operating under the assumption that every resident at a nursing home there has coronavirus. So they're all being moved to another location.
Woodbridge Mayor John McCormack calls this a monumental effort, moving 79 residents from the St. Joseph's Senior Home in Woodbridge to a Care 1 facility in Whippany.
There's 6 buses. They're going in groups of 2 with police escorts from the state police. And then the township provided some buses, as did others, to bring staff up.
The state stepped in to move the residents after more of them tested positive for COVID-19, and more staff couldn't come in or wouldn't come in.
Well, I have a lot of friends with parents there, and I've been communicating with them all along, and what I'm saying is that this is best for your mom. In all cases, they're mothers. This is best for your mom because they're going to a place where they'll be cared for much better.
That place is 30 miles away from the nursing home. Roger Stern, 1010 Wins News.
The Senate is back in session to take up a $2 trillion coronavirus relief package, which was agreed to by Senate negotiators early this morning. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer spoke about the legislation with CNN.
This is worker-friendly, workers first. We didn't want to put corporations first. We thought the original bill did that too much. This is workers first, and let me explain that. So many people have been thrown out of work through no fault of their own. The restaurant closes, the small business closes. Now all of those people will be able to apply quickly and easily for unemployment insurance, and most of them will get their full salaries or very, very close to it.
No time has been set for the Senate to take its formal vote. When it passes, it will be sent to the House for a vote, but there could be a complication with many House members out of Washington. Speaker Nancy Pelosi would then push for unanimous consent of the legislation and send it to President Trump for his signature. Here are some of the particulars of the bill. $250 billion for direct payments to Americans, $1,200 per adult, an additional $500 per child. That's for individuals earning no more than $75,000, and couples earning less than $150,000. The payment would scale down by income and phase out entirely at $99,000 and $198,000 per couple. $350 billion in small business loans, $250 billion for unemployment insurance benefits, $500 billion in loans for distressed companies. Wins News Time 309.
It's Macy's VIP sale with an extra 30% off designers that rarely go on sale when you use your coupon or Macy's card. That's big savings on the season's best trends, like head-to-toe neutrals, modern florals, hops of coral, and more. Plus, use your coupon to take 15% off beauty, too. Or check out great spring specials for you, your family, and your home. Plus, everyone gets free shipping on purchases of $25 or more now at Macy's.com. Savings off regular and sale prices, excluding supply.
Attention Walmart shoppers. This is a Jackson Hewitt tax service announcement. Save time and money with Jackson Hewitt and Walmart. For a limited time, you can shop while a skilled Jackson Hewitt tax pro prepares your federal tax return for as little as $48, but no more than $149. Only at Jackson Hewitt and Walmart. Hurry, this offer won't last. Get your coupon code and terms at jacksonhewitt.com. Then stop by one of our Walmart locations for this limited time offer to get your taxes done while you shop for only $149 or less. That's Jackson Hewitt and Walmart.
Wins News Time 310, traffic and AccuWeather in a minute.
Frontage Clinical Services, located in Secaucus, New Jersey, is looking for participants who are smokers to take part in a clinical study requiring 7 overnights at their research facility. Male and female participants between ages 21 to 65, call now, 877-298-9071. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to book an appointment. Upon completing the clinical research trial, each participant may receive up to $3,300. Call now, 877-298-9071. Frontage Clinical Services is looking for participants who are smokers to take part in a clinical study requiring 7 overnights at their research facility. Male and female participants between ages 21 to 65, call now, 877-298-9071. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to book an appointment. Upon completing the clinical research trial, each participant may receive up to $3,300. Call now, 877-298-9071 to speak with a recruiter to see if you pre-qualify.
Wins News Time 311 from the Mavis Discount Tire Traffic Center. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, still looking at big trouble in the Bronx, although as I see it on the jam cam, there might finally be some resolution. Southbound New England Thruway just before the split for the Throgs Neck Bridge. Looks like maybe the left lane's still tied up with this accident, but everybody's driving off now. We're still slow from Pelham Parkway on down. But the southbound Hutch, that'll be better for you en route to the Upper East River Bridges. Jersey, a couple of big issues going on. Northern New Jersey, we'll start there. 17 and Paramus shut down either way of Ridgewood Avenue. Down wires, tractor trailer fire at all. There's one a big mess. 287 south, any exit 4 in South Plainfield. That's the dump truck that flipped over, and right now the left lane still shut. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Very little in and out of the city. Everything behaves. Alternate side suspended in the 5 boroughs through at least next Tuesday. And now this message, traffic sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Buying a car with your tax refund stop. Don't get ripped off by wasting your refund paying huge dealer fees. At Major World, you'll only pay $75 in dealer fees. Major World, just straight up honest pricing. Visit MajorWorld.com or call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
Now the Accuweather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson with a live report.
Well, Larry, we'll have a little bit more rain and drizzle continuing into the evening hours, so we'll have a chilly breeze around as well. But the back edge of the shower is starting to come through western New Jersey right now, and we'll see some clearing later tonight, a low down to 39. Sunshine will mix us with clouds for tomorrow. Will be a mild afternoon, a high 55. And clouding back up tomorrow night, we'll likely see some rain again later on, a low down to 45. And we'll start with some rain and drizzle Friday morning. Clouds will try to break for some sun in the afternoon. Friday's high 58. Some sunshine early Saturday will give way to clouds. There looks like we'll see more rain during the afternoon and evening hours Saturday, high 52, and still some rain showers into Sunday as well. Light rain right now and 44 degrees. So Midtown are going down to 39 tonight. I'm Accuweather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds.
Winds News Time 3:13.
Are you ready to switch mobile providers? Spectrum Mobile is a better way to mobile, delivering the fastest overall speeds and the most reliable mobile service coast to coast.
And now we're bringing you 5G with faster speeds for an even better mobile experience. And of course, we have the latest 5G phones. Speed, reliability, value. Spectrum Mobile, a better way to mobile. Now with 5G. Visit spectrum.com/mobile for details and to find a store near you.
New Yorkers, stay home. By staying home, you are doing your part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Together, we can protect the most vulnerable and our healthcare workers. When you go out for essential needs, don't forget to keep your distance between yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Cover your nose and mouth when you sneeze or cough. For the latest information, text COVID to 692-692 or visit nyc.gov/coronavirus.
Be amazing. Be generous. Be thoughtful. Become an eye, organ, and tissue donor. There are thousands of New Yorkers who need sight and life-restoring transplants, and they're depending on us to help. Simply go to idonation.org on your smartphone, tablet, or computer and enroll in the New York State Donate Life Registry. Do it today. It only takes a minute. The Eye Bank of New York has provided the beautiful gift of sight to more than 65,000 men, women, and children since 1944. Go to idonation.org. That's idonation.org. Sign up to be an eye, organ, and tissue donor. Give the gift of sight and life to a fellow New Yorker. Become a donor and sign up today. It only takes a minute to be amazing. Be generous. Be thoughtful. The Eye Bank of New York. Give the gift of sight and life.
Space News Time, 3:15. There's word from Britain that Prince Charles has tested positive for coronavirus.
The Prince's Crown Health Office says the 71-year-old has COVID-19 and is self-isolating at a royal estate in Scotland. The office adds his wife, Camilla, has tested negative. The parish says Charles has been displaying mild symptoms and otherwise remains in good health and has been working from home throughout the last few days as usual. Charles delivers much funding.
As scientists work together on coronavirus research, the New York Blood Center announced today it started to collect the first blood plasma donations from people who had COVID-19 and have recovered. The plasma contains antibodies. They will be given to those with severe cases of the virus. The FDA yesterday approved the treatment for use on a case-by-case basis and gave the green light for the New York Blood Center to proceed. Experts say the antibodies would not be a cure, but could save lives and allow patients to have a more rapid recovery, a shorter hospital stay, and less severe outcomes. Newly minted doctors at NYU will hit the ground running.
If NYU medical students have met all the requirements and credits, the school is seeking permission to grant them early graduation. NYU said it's in response to the growing spread of COVID-19 and the governor's directive to get more physicians into the health system more quickly. The state education department and other regulators need to sign off, but the hope is to get some of these early graduates into hospitals by April.
That's correspondent Aaron Katursky. Something new will be coming to checkout lanes at Walmart, Albertsons, and Kroger stores. Sneeze guards. The plexiglass guards will protect workers coming in close contact with shoppers. Stores have been enforcing social distancing guidelines by adding decals to the floor to remind people to stay at least 6 feet from each other. Starbucks is trying to give the fight against coronavirus a jolt. The coffee giant says it's offering free coffee to any frontline responder until May 3rd. Any healthcare worker or first responder can get a free tall coffee, hot or iced tea. Starbucks also announced a $500,000 donation to organizations helping frontline workers during the crisis. Colorado residents staying at home will still be able to buy marijuana.
When Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak ordered the closing of all restaurant dining rooms and casinos, he knew he was effectively shutting down the state's economic engine. But, he says, for good reason.
This is affecting the lives of our citizens. People are dying.
But are pot shops essential businesses? Yes and no. The shops are closed, but the governor has signed a waiver allowing Nevada dispensaries to make home deliveries of marijuana.
That's correspondent Jim Ryan. The FDA today had a warning about EpiPens. This has nothing to do with coronavirus. The agency said EpiPen manufacturers Pfizer and Mylan have sent a letter to healthcare providers noting the EpiPen may not work properly due to spontaneous activation when being handled and would need to be thrown away. Users may also have trouble taking it out of the packaging. The EpiPen is used as an emergency treatment for severe allergic reactions. Wins News Time, 3:19.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents. And Doug.
Lehman, when we're not telling people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, I've actually been moonlighting as a DJ. Check it! Here's the good part! Liberty. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
At CDW, we get that an unsecured laptop can put your company's data at risk, making you a little paranoid.
I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid.
CDW can implement a secure mobility solution using the HP EliteBook with Intel 8th generation processors and SureView privacy to protect your screen from prying eyes.
Did you follow me here?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/HP security.
What was that?
Working from home during the coronavirus outbreak, we are with you 24/7. Download the radio.com app or tell your iPhone and home devices to play 1010 Wins. Let's stay connected.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 44 degrees at 3:20. I'm Larry Cantor, and here's what's happening. New Jersey adds more than 700 coronavirus cases, bringing the total to 4,400. New York State's coronavirus cases top 30,000, with more than half in the city. In a video message, Mayor de Blasio predicts more than half of all New Yorkers will ultimately be infected. Police Commissioner Shea warns criminals that cops can focus on them and coronavirus at the same time. 1010 Winds, Accuweather, some light rain and drizzle, ending later tonight. Low 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, high 55.
This is Andrew O'Day of Bloomberg. Yesterday, the Dow spiked on hope for a deal on $2 trillion in stimulus. Now ahead of a planned Senate vote on it, we're up again. Dow up 1,219.
Winds News Time, 3:21. From the 1010 Winds Traffic Center, here's Greg Rice.
Now, still looking at a couple of big-time messes in the Garden State. 17 still subject to closure either way over at Ridgewood Avenue in Paramus. Tractor-trailer fire, down wires. It's all one big mess through the area. 287 in South Plainfield southbound. A dump truck flipped over in the left lane, so that's a crawl. Getting past exit 4 better. In the Bronx, southbound New England Thruway coming down towards the area of the exit of the Broad's Neck split. Yeah, the earlier accident knocked out 2 lanes. It's gone. It's still a bit of ride on the southbound Hutchinson River Parkway. Westbound belt getting over the Cross Bay Boulevard. They're getting rid of a breakdown. They're also towing away a stall on the northbound Whitestone Expressway over near 20th Avenue. Clearview's better either way. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Very little in and out of the city. Good ride at the George as well as everything else on the Hudson. East River crossings, Upper East River bridges, they all behave at this point. Alternate side suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday, March 31st. To be the W&Z subway as they stay parked. They say they're duplicate service, and right now you won't even miss them. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy checked in this afternoon with the latest numbers in the battle against coronavirus in his state. He reports another 700 people have tested positive, bringing the total to 4,400. 18 more New Jersey residents have died, and that makes 62.
Make no mistake, we are in this fight to save lives. And I would just say this, that we completely and utterly reject some pockets, I might add, happily, small pockets that are suggesting around the country, mercifully, I've not heard much of this in New Jersey, that certain persons are expendable. The fact of the matter is, everyone is indispensable.
The governor also announced that daycare centers in New Jersey will be required to only take care of the children of essential workers starting April 1st. And those centers must certify they will do that or close. In New York, the city now has nearly 18,000 confirmed cases. Statewide, it's more than 30,285 people have died. Governor Cuomo offered an update on the state's response to the crisis.
Governor Cuomo playing nice with the White House, working on getting much-needed ventilators to New York. But he's not happy with the stimulus package.
It would really be terrible for the state of New York.
He says it provides only a small amount of the funds needed to aid government and business. The governor says social distancing is working and that it's slowing the number of hospitalizations. But State Health Commissioner Howard Zucker challenged the administration's call to quarantine if you recently visited New York City.
I would not follow that. I believe that you should follow the guidelines in general. They should social distance.
Juliet Papa, 1010 Wins News.
Mayor de Blasio has begun communicating with New Yorkers via video message. He promises a new one each day.
So many challenges, so much fear and anxiety. It's going to be with us for months. Probably more than half.
He says the outbreak is putting a strain on the department, but they're still on regular shifts. Part of the police responsibility now is to remind New Yorkers to keep their distance. But Shea says the outbreak should not present an invitation for criminals.
Certainly something that we are absolutely not taking our eye off. And the message to criminals would be, the last thing you should do is partake in crime in New York City at this time, because we will address it. But we're wearing many hats right now.
New York and New Jersey have the most cases of coronavirus in the country. Number 3 is California with 2,600 cases and 58 deaths. As a precaution in Los Angeles, officials have reduced the local jail population by 10%, about 1,700 inmates. So far, no inmates have tested positive for the virus. Light rain falling, 44 degrees. We're heading down to 39. Winds news time, 3:26. Now, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Winds. Here's Andrew O'Day.
We've seen the hit taken by the nation's hotel industry from the virus and resulting collapse in travel, prompting property closures and worker furloughs. Today we have some new specifics. Industry group STR says hotel occupancy in New York City has fallen to just 17%. Similar plunges in Boston and San Francisco, 2 of the other cities hit hard by the outbreak. Today stocks in hotel companies are rising on hopes a big chunk of the stimulus money from Washington soon will be headed their way. That hope is feeding quite a Wall Street rally overall. For the first time in 6 weeks, the market is poised to post back-to-back advances. Right now, the Dow gaining 1,108, NASDAQ up 167, S&P up 99. We're seeing a swoosh in Nike shares today, up almost 12% after the company topped forecast with its latest quarterly earnings. Nike's revenue rose 5%, even amid mass store closures in China during the outbreak's early days. Its online sales jumped 36%. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 Winds.
Winds news time, 3:27.
To all first responders and essential personnel.
I want to do a shout out to my friend Brenda, who's a delivery nurse at the hospital.
You healthcare people are the people in our country who are about we and not just me.
We'll get through this together. Thank you from 1010 Winds.
It's bold. It's beautiful. I'm talking about the blue CertaPro painters use to brighten up my home. Bridget Quinn here. Take it from me. CertaPro painters are prompt, neat, and ready to take care of any cracking, peeling, or chipping paint on the exterior of your home. So I recommend getting a free estimate at CertaPro.com. Certa with a C. Refresh and protect your home. Get on CertaPro's spring painting schedule today. That's CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters. We do painting. You do light.
Somewhere out there's a man on a park bench eating his 500th PB&J. He has no idea Papa John's has new Papadillas that are way better than a boring sandwich. With Papa John's best meats, cheeses, and veggies hand-folded into a crispy flatbread crust. Someone better tell that man. Get a new Papadilla in 1 of 4 flavors for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Extra prices may vary.
It's happening. Wherever cupcakes are being frosted, songs are being recorded, and engines are being tuned, ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner, from small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions, like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top brand electronics, accessories, and software, no matter your technology needs.
have them be moved to the Care 1 facility.
Is in good health, and his wife, Duchess Camilla, is with him.
He tested positive for the virus in Scotland, and he's there now with his wife. She, we understand, has not tested positive. And obviously there's some concern for the Queen. Obviously this is a woman in her 90s. We're told the last time she met with the Prince of Wales was on March 12th, and the palace is saying that the Queen and other members of the royal family are following all medical advice.
The number of COVID-19 cases in the UK topping 8,000 with more than 400 deaths. Heartbreak for an NBA player whose mother is in a coma.
Central Jersey native Karl Anthony Towns is not the latest NBA player to contract COVID-19, but his mother has tested positive, and the Minnesota Timberwolves All-Star talked about it in an emotional post on Instagram.
She's part of our household, she's the boss. She's been in a medically induced coma. So I made this video so that people understand that the severity of this disease is real. It's deadly.
Towns adding that people need to protect their families, their loved ones, their friends, and themselves by practicing social distancing and staying out of crowded places. Mark Renee, 1010 Wins Sports.
Wins News Time, 3:51. An update for you on traffic and transit, and Greg Rice.
Well, let's go to New Jersey, where we've been tracking a couple of big problems for you. 17 in Bremen shut either way on Ridgewood Avenue. Tractor trailer caught fire, took down.
Oh, Greg, we lost you there. Sorry about that. We'll try to get you back. But in the meantime, let's check the Accuweather Forecast, and that's Brian Thompson.
Yeah, Bridget, we've had some rain this afternoon. Still seeing a little bit of rain and drizzle around, but starting to see that area of rain shrink a bit on 1010 West Operator. So we'll continue to see the rain diminish a bit as we head through the rest of the evening and into early this evening, I should say. We'll see some clearing later tonight, low 39. Sunshine and mixes of clouds tomorrow. Will be a milder afternoon, a high of 55, and turning cloudy again tomorrow night. We'll have another round of rain coming in later on, a low 45. Likely start with some rain Friday morning. We should see some breaks of sun in the afternoon, as it turns out mainly dry. Friday's high around 58. With some sunshine early on Saturday, then turning cloudy again. And it looks like another round of rain for Saturday afternoon and evening, a high of 52, and some more showers coming our way on Sunday. 44 degrees right now with light rain, and Midtown are going down to 39. I'm Accuweather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 West.
New Jersey Transit is currently operating on a modified schedule. For the latest schedule information, visit njtransit.com or download the New Jersey Transit mobile app. Travel should be limited to essential personnel only.
Wins News Time, 3:52. Graduation is coming early for some med school students.
New York University says in response to the growing spread of COVID-19 and in response to Governor Andrew Cuomo's directive to get more physicians into the health system more quickly, the medical school has agreed to permit early graduation for its students pending approval from the State Department of Education. New York has more than half the total confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S. and even more than some countries. For most people, the virus causes mild or moderate symptoms, such as fever and cough. But for some, especially the elderly and people with existing health problems, it can cause severe illness and death.
Julie Walker reporting there, and this note for healthcare workers. The Four Seasons Hotel in New York on Billionaires Row will be housing medical workers. Much needed treat for them. All right, let's try to go back to get a traffic update with Greg Rice. You there?
Yeah, we'll go back to Route 17 in Jersey because that's a big closure you need to know about. It's closed in Ridgewood Avenue in Paramus. That's because of a tractor-trailer fire. Looks like that involves some poles coming down in that stretch, so you want to stay with the Parkway instead. That'll get you around that without much issue. 287 southbound, your exit 4, and everybody still wants to look at this thing. It's the dump truck that flipped over earlier this afternoon. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Just not a whole lot on a day like this. Everything's in good shape in and out of the city and to and from Staten Island, as well as the Upper East River subways, BW and Z trains. They are in the yard. For the time being, they say you won't miss them. The same story with the 5 train. For most of Brooklyn, they say take the 2 where that applies. 6 and 7 trains, they are local instead of express, and you got delays on the A, C, and Q trains. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
It's news time 3:54. City Bike stepping up to help during this pandemic. All essential workers are being given a free month-long bike membership to help them travel to work safely. Healthcare providers, transit workers, first responders across the 5 boroughs, and they can sign up through their employers. Staff at docking stations near hospitals will be disinfecting each and every bike once they are returned. Lawyers for Bill Cosby are planning to head to court. They'll file a motion to get him released from a Pennsylvania jail because of the coronavirus, and Cosby they want to be placed under house arrest instead. There have been reports that at least one prison officer has tested positive for COVID-19 there. Money Watch coming up with news time 3:55.
It's only natural to wonder if you have the right Medicare coverage. Now you can be sure with a free no-obligation second opinion. In just minutes, a United Healthcare Medicare advisor can help assess your needs and tell you if there's a plan that might be a better fit. Make sure your Medicare coverage is the right Medicare coverage. Call 1-855-276-0744 for a free second opinion today.
Second opinion is available to all individuals without obligation to switch plans or enroll. There are a number of reasons that allow for enrollment in a Medicare Advantage plan throughout the year, including but not limited to if you're turning 65 or recently moved. Enrollment requires an eligible election period.
Hey, New Jersey, want more funding for public schools?
What about better health and social services?
Fill out your 2020 census. Federal funding for our communities is determined by census results. If we're not all counted, we could miss out.
So, better roads and bridges.
Fill it out.
Better jobs?
Fill it out.
Better representation in Congress.
Fill it out. New Jersey Census 2020. There's strength in numbers. Learn more at census.nj.gov.
With news time 3:56. Bloomberg Money Watch, and here's Andrew O'Day.
Hope for quick Senate passage of the $2 trillion spending stimulus bill struck in a deal early this morning. The ground, 5 senators, 4 Republicans, plus Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders, are threatening to hold up a vote over particulars in the bill. The word is cut into Wall Street's formerly big rally, although indexes do remain on the plus side, just ahead of the closing bell. The Dow up 651, NASDAQ up 11, S&P 500 up 45. You've been waiting for the upcoming 5G Apple iPhone to be released. You may have to wait. The Asian Review is reporting that with everything going on, Apple is considering a month-long delay to its 5G phone. Apple is making news of another sort as well. CEO Tim Cook says the company has sourced and procured 10 million face masks and will donate them to the medical community in the U.S. Now up 558. Bloomberg Money Watch, 26 and 56 past every hour. Amanda O'Day for 1010 Wins.
Accuweather, then top stories coming up. Wins news time 3:57.
It's Macy's VIP sale with an extra 30% off designers that rarely go on sale when you use your coupon or Macy's card. That's big savings on the season's best trends, like head-to-toe neutrals, modern florals, pops of coral, and more. Plus, use your coupon to save 15% off beauty, too. Or check out great spring specials for you, your family, and your home. Plus, everyone gets free shipping on purchases of $25 or more now at Macy's.com. Savings off regular and sale prices, exclusions apply.
It's happening. Wherever cupcakes are being frosted, songs are being recorded, and engines are being tuned, ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner, from small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
Parents, do you want your child's shoes to fit perfectly? Then you need to get your kids Skechers Stretch Fit shoes, because Skechers Stretch Fit shoes easily slip on and fit almost like a sock. And not only do they fit like a dream, they perform like one too. Skechers Stretch Fit keeps your child's feet comfortable all day long with Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam. Plus, you'll love just how durable they are. And if they get dirty, just pop them in the washing machine. Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Find them at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever kids' shoes are sold.
According to the 2010 census, only 13% of the population was over 65. Well, I wasn't part of the 13% back then, but I am now. And with the 2020 census, my response will inform funding for things like health care, public transit, all types of things to make 65 feel like the new 40. Yeah, okay, maybe the new 50.
Shape your future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Wins news time 3:59.
WINS HD, WNEW HD, New York.
A radio.com station.
AccuWeather says a damp evening with a chilly breeze along with some leftover rain or drizzle. Then it clears tonight with a low down to 39. Tomorrow, sun mixing with some clouds in the afternoon. A nice mild afternoon with a high of 55. Tomorrow night, it becomes cloudy again, and the rain moves in again late with a low down to 45. And for Friday, rain or drizzle in the morning, but then clouds and some breaks of sun by Friday afternoon. A mild one with a high of 58. Saturday, some sun early, then cloudy and maybe some rain during the afternoon. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Tanya Mercado is our service aide. Justin Schrager is our writer. Kyle McMorrow, the editor's desk. And I'm Bridget Quinn.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It is 44 degrees at 4 o'clock. I'm Donna Vaughn, and here's what's happening. Coronavirus cases are still surging across New York, but Governor Cuomo has some positive news.
Can you slow the rate of infection? Yes. How do you know? Look at what we did in Westchester.
He says social distancing efforts seem to be slowing it down. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea tells 1010 Winds that the NYPD does have virus cases and a lot of cops calling in sick, but it has not hurt operations yet. In Washington, the Senate should be voting soon on that giant stimulus package to give the economy a much-needed shot in the arm, but Governor Cuomo says New York's portion falls way short. And lawyers for jailed entertainer Bill Cosby apparently hope the coronavirus can help get that convicted sex offender out of jail. 1010 Winds AccuWeather. Skies should clear a little tonight, low 39. Milder afternoon tomorrow, high 55, as sun mixes with clouds. And we have the Dow closing up 415 points today. Winds News Time 4:01. Traffic and transit now, an expanded report with Greg Rice.
Good afternoon, Don. It hasn't exactly been busy out there, but you've got some big trouble spots in New Jersey. 17 in Paramus closed both ways over Ridgewood Avenue. Tractor trailer caught fire. This all knocked down some wires, some poles, and right now just stay with the Garden State Parkway. It is worth paying the toll to get around this thing because even the side streets in the area, be it Paramus Road, they are starting to back up with everyone having the same idea. 287 southbound, your exit 4 in South Plainfield. That's a dump truck that flipped over. The left lane is not out of service. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Not exactly a lot. In and out of the city, everything behaves. Up Reese River Bridges, the crossings to and from Staten Island, and the Mario Cuomo, they're all fine. Alternate sides suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday. DW and Z subway trains, they stay in the yard. They say they're redundant, and right now you won't miss them. Same with the 5 trains. Through part of Brooklyn, they say where the 2 train runs, it does it just as well. 6 and 7s go express to local, and the Q trains, as well as the A and C, still have some ongoing delays at this hour. Traffic is sponsored by your Tri-State Mercedes dealers. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report at 4:11 on 1010 Winds.
Your someday might just be today. With more affordable models than ever before, the spring event is the perfect time to consider that Mercedes-Benz you've been dreaming of. Go to mbusa.com/spring event to view inventory, offers, or to schedule a test drive today.
Well, the number of confirmed cases of coronavirus surges past 30,000 in New York State, up 4,400 in just the past day. Governor Cuomo says there are early signs that social distancing is having a positive impact and could be slowing the spread of the virus. Also, President Trump tweeted earlier that he's working very hard to... needed in a state with 53,000. More states in the country seeing an uptick in positive cases as testing expands. New York, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak, accounting for more than half of the nation's 60,000 cases so far. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says states are hunting for positives and seeing signs that the strict stay-at-home measures are starting to work.
Overall, more patients have had to go to the hospital for coronavirus than predicted, but the daily hospitalization rate appears to be declining. Governor Andrew Cuomo said it shows the stay-at-home and social distancing policies work.
And the evidence suggests at this point that they have slowed the hospitalizations. And this is everything.
The state is now racing to increase hospital capacity in anticipation of an apex that could come in about 3 weeks. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
A growing number of states adding those orders. Minnesota's governor, the latest, issuing a 2-week effort in order to slow the spread. Michelle Franson, ABC News. Wednesday's time, 4:31. Time for extended traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, the trouble continues in New Jersey. You just don't want 17 in Paramus either way near Ridgewood Avenue. This is between A&S Drive and Linwood Avenue. That's the truck that caught fire, took down some poles, and really made a mess of things. Stay with the Garden State Parkway. The Bronx issue is the hutch either way near the drawbridge. You get a lane down with a wreck. You get a much better ride if you swing over to the New England Thruway. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Nothing. Inbound side of the George, a good go, as are the outbound options. Lincoln and Holland, the East River crossings, the Upper East River and Staten Island bound bridges. They're all in pretty good shape. No trouble right now on the Mario Cuomo Bridge. Alternate signs suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday, March 31st. B, W, and Z subways stay parked in the yard. They say they're redundant, and at this point, they're not needed. Same with the 5 through most of Brooklyn. That's where the 2 train makes up the difference. And New Jersey Transit, they are already on an enhanced holiday schedule for the foreseeable future. Traffic is sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Buying a car with your tax refund stop. Don't get ripped off by wasting your refunds, paying huge dealer fees at Major World. You'll only pay $75 in dealer fees. Major World, just straight up honest pricing. Visit MajorWorld.com or call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report is 4:41 on 1010 Wins.
Now the Accuweather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, we'll have a damp evening. A lot of the rain is starting to diminish. There's still some patches of light rain and drizzle here or there. But those will diminish over the next few hours. Sort of a chilly breeze. That will diminish as well as we hit through the overnight hours. So we'll have some clearing later tonight, a low 39. We'll start off with a good deal of sunshine tomorrow. Then we'll start to mix of clouds in the afternoon. A high of 55, so definitely milder than today. Coming cloudy tomorrow night. Rain will move in late to low 45. We'll start with some rain Friday morning. The clouds will try to break for some sun in the afternoon. Friday's high 58, so some sun early Saturday, then turning cloudy. There could be some rain during the afternoon and evening. Saturday's high 52 and a chance for more showers into Sunday. 44 degrees right now. It's cloudy at mid-hour. We're going down to 39 tonight. I'm Accuweather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Win.
Now this message. This portion of the news is sponsored by Montefiore Einstein. The governor has asked all New Yorkers to join the fight against COVID-19. Sticking together and staying home will hashtag flatten the curve to save lives. Wednesday news time, 4:34. Mayor de Blasio has warned that if New Yorkers don't abide by social distancing, he could be forced to close playgrounds, with the decision coming Saturday night. New York City Police Commissioner Dermot Shea spoke to 1010 Wins about whether officers were about to become social distancing police.
The very last day I would want the men and women in the police department becoming the morality police, if you will, where we're having to issue summonses. I think that's a last resort, and quite frankly, I don't think we're going to get to that point. New Yorkers know what's going on. They know we're all in this together. We are going to come out of this. There is no doubt in my mind. And we're going to come out of it stronger, but we'll have to do it together.
He says they really are seeing compliance below ground and above ground. According to the latest NYPD stats, crime has plunged during the pandemic, with New Yorkers staying home. Citywide, violent crime is down nearly 17% compared to the same week last year, with shootings down 23.5%, assaults down 9%, and reported rapes down 69%. Car theft is up 52%, but the recent trend had shown a 75% uptick in the last month, ahead of the various closures. Wednesday news time, 4:35. A nursing home in New Jersey is being evacuated. Its patients moved elsewhere. All are assumed to be infected with coronavirus.
St. Joseph's Senior Home is hit with a double whammy. A dire shortage of staff because of COVID-19 and a number of the residents testing positive for the disease with fear that others already have it. Woodbridge Mayor John McCormick.
They needed help, and by the time the state came in to look, they realized it was no longer viable to keep people there, wasn't safe, so they decided to get them to a different facility.
That different facility is Care One in Whippany, 30 miles away. Patients are being transferred by bus with police escort.
It's a monumental effort to get everybody moved safely and securely into their new facility by the end of the day.
The mayor says he's been fielding calls from the sons and daughters of St. Joseph residents, and he says they will be safer in a different facility. Roger Stern, 1010 Wins News.
44 degrees now, cloudy in New York. We have some light rain coming down in spots. We are going down to a damp and chilly 39 in Midtown tonight. Wins News Time 4:36. The Tony Awards have been postponed. 1010 Wins Entertainment is next. It's bold. It's beautiful. I'm talking about the blue CertaPro painters used to brighten up my home. Bridget Quinn here. Take it from me. CertaPro painters are prompt, neat, and ready to take care of any cracking, peeling, or chipping paint on the exterior of your home. So I recommend getting a free estimate at CertaPro.com. Certa with a C. Refresh and protect your home. Get on CertaPro's spring painting schedule today. That's CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters. We do painting, you do life.
This Girl Scout cookie season, we Girl Scouts would like to say thank you, America. Thank you, cookie cravers, thin-mint enthusiasts, peanut butter patrons, shortbread devotees. Every time you take a bite of a Girl Scout cookie, it's good for us. Your coconut and caramel cravings are our chance to practice goal setting. Your midnight snacks help us learn to manage money. Your freezers aren't just full of tasty treats. They're packed with entrepreneurship. That's right, entrepreneurship. You probably can't taste the business ethic or the decision making or the people skills, but they're in there in every single mouthful. Every time you eat what's in the box, we learn how to think outside of it. So raise a glass of milk and raise our chances to reach our potential. Eat up, America. We're counting on you. I'm Catalina. I'm Melody. I'm Katie. I'm Devin. I'm Hannah. I'm Annie. I'm Juliana. I'm Nicole. I'm Olivia. I'm Colette. I'm Stefania. And we approve this message.
The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box. Wins News Time 4:38 now. 1010 Wins Entertainment. The 74th Annual Tony Awards, which had been scheduled for June 7th at Radio City, will be rescheduled at a later date. A statement did not announce that later date. The announcement came after weeks of uncertainty. The eligibility cutoff date was April 23rd. The nominations were scheduled to be announced on April 28th. Broadway went dark on March 12th. Live from his garage, it's James Corden with stars remoting in from home.
So you're a tough guy, like you really rough guy, just can't get enough.
Billie Eilish will be among those performing from home in a celebrity-packed TV special urging viewers to adhere to social distancing and other health guidelines. Late Show host James Corden will be hosting from his garage. The show also starring BTS remoting in from South Korea, and John Legend checking in from LA will air Monday on CBS. Wins News Time 4:39.
All around the area, and we've had delays really non-existent west side or east side up to the outbound side of the road in Nassau on the northbound side of Wantaw Parkway at Old Country Road. We had a tractor trailer there off to the shoulder, so we've had alternately at least one lane open and closed, but it is now off to the shoulder and a bit of a delay there on the northbound side of Wantaw Parkway. I'm Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center.
Forecast from Craig Allen calls for some clearing skies overnight with lows near 35. Tomorrow, mostly sunny day with a high of 58. Then Thursday night, the clouds and the rain return. Friday morning, we'll have some rain, and then it'll be a cloudy day the rest of the way. Friday's high up near 60. Looks like some rain on and off during the weekend, too.
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and real estate donations.
Stay connected in the car and in the house, and we'll get through this together. Tell your iPhone and smart devices to play 1010 Wins.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 44 degrees at 4:40. I'm Lori Madman, and here's what's happening. Governor Cuomo says the state has now 30,000 or more cases cases of COVID-19 with an expected peak weeks away. He also says there's a possible early sign that social distancing is paying off. Our Julia Papa with the story in a report. The MTA temporarily cuts weekday service on the B, W, and Z trains amid the ridership plunge. Governor Murphy says 4 new field hospitals are on the way in New Jersey.
We will fight to save every single life. Battlefield in that effort.
The Garden State now reporting 736 cases. The Senate moves toward a vote on a $2 trillion stimulus. We'll be speaking with Senator Cory Booker in just a few moments live on 1010 Wins about the package. Airlines look to cut costs by ditching the drinks card in middle seats. 1010 Wins Accuweather says damp and chilly tonight, low 39, partly sunny tomorrow, high 55.
Bloomberg high hopes for the $2 trillion stimulus fed big Wall Street gains most of the day, but worries about a Senate vote cut stocks back late. The Dow ends up 496.
Wins News Time 441. Time for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, still a bit bad in the Bronx. The Hutch, either way near the drawbridge, you get a lane down because of the crash. You get a better ride on the New England Troy. It's right there. Just go for it. That's the thing with days like this, Lori. We have issues, but we have ways around them. Same story in New Jersey. 17 is shut. Tractor trailer caught fire. Whatever caused that also caused the toll to come down in the area. So 17's a mess. Stay with the Garden State Parkway. It is right there. It is free and clear. Well, not free, but it's clear, and it's a better ride. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound Georgia could go to the upper and lower. There's really no bad way in or out of East River, Upper East River bridges, they behave, as do the options to and from Staten Island. Alternate sides suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday, March 31st. Subways, B, W, and Z trains, they stay parked in the yard. They say they're redundant and just not needed at this point. In lieu of the B, depending on the borough, C, D, or Q makes it up. Without the W, N, or R, and without the Z, you get the J. Also part of Brooklyn, you get the 5 train suspended, but where that is suspended, you have the 2 train right there to make up the difference. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones, breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
Governor Cuomo says New York State now has more than 30,000 positive cases of COVID-19. More than half of those cases, nearly 18,000, are here in the city. Westchester has the second highest number with nearly 4,700, followed by Long Island, both counties. He says there is some good news. The rate of infection has slowed dramatically in Westchester, which was the first hotspot in the state. And social distancing looks to be having a positive effect. Governor Cuomo cautiously optimistic. He says density control may be working.
This past Sunday, the projection was that hospitalizations were doubling every 2 days, okay? 3.4 days. On Tuesday, the projection suggested that the hospitalizations were doubling every 4.7 days.
Although the rate of hospitalization may be slowing down, the projection of infected cases still expected to reach 140,000 in 21 days. The governor praised retired medical personnel coming forward to lend a hand, some 40,000 there, and 6,000 mental health volunteers. Juliette Papa, 1010 Wins News. Wins News Time 444. The city targets an alleged price gouger, which now says it will donate its remaining surgical masks to a nearby hospital. The mayor and New York City Consumer Affairs Commissioner Lorelei Salash announced today that the city filed a case against Metro Drugs, a pharmacy on Lexington Avenue on the Upper East Side, for allegedly selling face masks for as much as $200 for 20 masks. She says the department received 23 complaints and issued Metro Drugs 75 violations. The department is seeking up to $37,000 in fines. Now, this afternoon, Metro Drugs released a statement to 1010 Wins that says, quote, Metro has not marked up our prices above usual and customary margins and are within the guidelines of the law. We went to great lengths to purchase the products in question for the benefit of the public and paid significantly more than usual. We have also decided to donate the remaining surgical masks we have in stock to a nearby hospital. Wins News Time 445. Mayor Bill de Blasio has launched a daily coronavirus video called Message with the Mayor.
Everyone, I know we'll get through this. It will be 2 of the toughest months, I believe. I believe April will be tough. I believe May will be tougher.
And after that, we'll start to come out of this. It'll be really, really difficult, but we can get through it. We will get through it.
And you can send your questions, comments, and concerns to the mayor with the hashtag AskMyMayor. When's news time? 4:45. Speaking with us now on 1010 Wins and 1010wins.com is Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. Senator, you're in Washington right now. Before we get into the specifics of this record-breaking $2 trillion stimulus, what is the status of voting on this bill, and how does the House bill figure in?
Well, we've got a lot of energy behind this bill, bipartisan energy, for those of us who were in the trenches and made these tough compromises. You know, there's always going to be some senators that might have some problems, and I think both caucuses, Democrat and Republicans, are trying to get everybody on board so we can vote on this and get this over to the House of Representatives as quickly as possible. Too many, literally millions and millions of Americans are depending upon the resources that are in this bill. We've got to get this done.
This morning, you may have heard what Governor Cuomo said about the bill. He said it would be terrible for New York. What do you think it will be for New Jersey?
Well, I again want to tell you, this is a compromise bill. It does not have in it all the things that I was fighting for and pushing for, but it has many of them that I was. And so, for example, I've talked to, my office has talked to hundreds and hundreds of families who are going to be benefited by the direct cash payments, up over $3,000 for families of 4 or more. It's substantive. The tens of thousands of people in New York, New Jersey, hundreds of thousands of people that might be facing unemployment now have the best unemployment resources I've seen in my lifetime, where literally the floor has been raised. The middle-class families, lower-income workers will get virtually nearly a full paycheck relief. And it's been expanded for 4 months. On top of that, the billions of dollars that we're getting for our hospital systems, it's akin to a Marshall Plan for hospitals that are out there. And then there's small businesses that we all value and love in our communities and our states that are going to get tens of billions of dollars of support, not just grants, but not just loans, but actually grants as well. So this bill does not have everything. I'm hoping we get to come back and fight for a fourth bill to fill in gaps and add resources. But there are literally millions of Americans who are in economic insecurity or free fall right now who will find solid ground from this bill. And there are hospital systems overwhelmed, bleeding out resources that will get help. And as a guy who's fought for everything from the cash payments to help for mass transit in our area, from New York City's MTA, which is going to get billions, to New Jersey Transit, we're winning for our region because we are so reliant on those mass transit systems that right now are running up hundreds of millions of dollars worth of debt and facing critical financial challenges.
Let's put this in real terms for our listeners. Let's assume that the bill, as is, passes, the president signs it within the next 24 hours. When do those cash payments come to a family of 4 in Freehold, maybe, or someone who's out of work in Little Ferry?
Well, the first thing is to understand those folks who are out of work can go to the unemployment offices. You can go online and even sign up. Because there's resources there for you that we already have the mechanism set up to get you financial support right away. The cash payments, that's been a lot of the battle for me in the trenches. I knew there's a lot of quicker ways to get the money out, but those bills should be coming out as quickly as possible. I do not have a definite date for you, but you can start to rely on those resources, which a lot of people need to know. It's like, hey, when we get to those April rent payments and the like, will I know I have money, or can I move things around knowing that money is coming? If you're running a small business, which for a lot of small business people, that's who's laying people off because they can't afford to hold people on. Well, there's going to be a tremendous amount of immediate resources that they can be applying for. It's going to help them to keep their payments to fulfill their, whether it's their fixed cost, their utilities, utilities, their mortgage payments, their rental payments, as well as do things to incentivize them with grants to keep their employees. So there's a lot of things that will start hitting immediately, and a lot of things that we can all rely on should we be in a financial strap. But I'll tell you, those hospitals, the hospital systems are in desperate need. Those towns are worried about paying their firefighters and police officers. As a former mayor, there'll be a lot of local leaders celebrating, knowing that they're going to get the resources they need to meet at least this phase of the challenge.
Senator, the president says he has been using the Defense Production Act, which could have companies ramp up production of much-needed supplies, as leverage, as opposed to actually invoking it. Are you on board with that? Would you urge him to just invoke it, or do you think it's working fine the way it is?
Presidents during crises step up and use their authorities to protect the life and safety of their residents. This president is not using the strength that comes from that office to meet the crisis of our region. It is unacceptable to me that he's still dithering around and hasn't used the full authority granted to him in that office. The Defense Production Act should have been employed weeks ago, in my opinion, so that he could begin to get areas like New York and New Jersey the resources that we need. And this is the frustrating thing in this crisis, to see us have advanced warning but not do the things on a federal level that we should have been doing to prepare, from testing kids that critical mistakes were made, all the way to just being direct with people and letting them know in sober terms, candid sober terms, what to expect and not to deny or call what we're experiencing now a hoax. And so I have a lot of frustrations, but this is not a time for unconstructive expressions. I continue to talk with federal agencies and the White House to get the state of New Jersey the resources that we really need right now, because the wave that's coming at New Jersey and New York will soon, if we don't act quickly, outstrip the supplies that we have to meet that crisis, and that's unacceptable. No one in the New York and New Jersey area should die because we do not have respirators. The federal government should not be husbanding them, and they should be activating all the resources we need as the area of the country right now that is being hardest hit by this crisis.
I want to ask you a question about one of your colleagues, Senator Rand Paul, who apparently used the Senate gym, had a meeting, was circulating after he had a coronavirus test. He has since tested positive. Do you think he acted correctly?
Again, there'll be time, I'm sure, to analyze this. My urgency today of all the problems and challenges and the pushing that I'm doing, this doesn't even register. I'm sure there will be an examination of his behavior. He's already written a letter that I haven't even had time to read to his colleagues explaining his conduct. Again, my focus right now is getting New Jersey and New Jerseyans the resources that they need immediately, and that's the fight before us right now.
And before we let you go, will there be a vote tonight? Will there not be a vote tonight, or you're not sure at this point?
I'm not sure. I still believe and hope. I'm going to be a prisoner of hope that we can get this thing voted on tonight. A lot of furious conversations are going on, some of which I need to get back to, but the hope is we can get this to Nancy Pelosi and the House of Representatives sometime this evening, and I'm a guy that will stay up as late as it's necessary to get that done. There's too much at stake. And I just want to thank you before we sign off. People don't often recognize how critical the media is in times like this in getting people important information. Many people in the media even put themselves at risk to get the kind of information people need for their families. And so I just want to thank you and for all that you and your team are doing. And again, just call out to all of us during this time of difficulty. Let's show the best of who we are in some of the worst of times. Let's show kindness, grace, and decency, because if there's ever a challenge in America, I'm betting on us and our ability to get through it together.
Well, thank you very much, Senator Cory Booker, for joining us on 1010 Wins and 1010wins.com this afternoon. We'll let you get back to your work on the Hill. Wins news time 4:54. We're going to check in a little bit late now, but for traffic and service with Greg Rice. Greg.
Lori, let's start in the Bronx. Hutchinson River Parkway getting better. They got all lanes reopened over near the drawbridge. The wreck is gone. It's still better on the New England Thruway. We're still looking at big trouble in Jersey. 17 in Paramus closed either way. Between A&S Drive and Linwood Avenue, tractor trailer caught fire, took down a pole, made a mess. Go to the Parkway instead. It is right there, and boy, is that better. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Hudson River offerings are in good shape. No problems across the East River, Upper East River bridges. They are fine and no issues right now to or from Staten Island or on the Mario Cuomo Bridge. Alternate sides suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday, March 31st. You won't have to move the car in the city until at the earliest April. BW and Z trains, they stay in the yards. They're not needed right now. They say you won't miss them. If you're looking for a B, the C, D, or Q, depending on the borough, without the W, the N, or R, and in lieu of the Z, hop on the J. You don't have the 5 in most of Brooklyn, but you've got the 2 to do the job. Traffic sponsored by Link Home Care. Gotta think Link. Link Home Care provides unparalleled home care 24/7 to those in need. They're not just another agency. Link is family. Serving all 5 boroughs, making the transition to home care smooth and easy for everyone. Visit linkhomecare.com to learn more. Link Home Care. You gotta think Link. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
Now the Accuweather 4-day forecast. Here is meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, Lori, it's going to be a damp evening. We've had a little bit of rain and drizzle here or there, although that is starting to diminish. We'll have a chilly breeze that we have right now. That's going to start to diminish as well. Drop to 39 tonight as we clear things out. We'll start with a fair amount of sunshine tomorrow, but the sun will give way to clouds. Not a bad afternoon, though. High 55, certainly milder than it's been today. Becoming cloudy tomorrow night. Rain moves in late, low 45. Some rain or drizzle in the morning on Friday, then clouds break for some sun up to 58 Friday afternoon. Kind of the reverse on Saturday. We'll start with some sun, then clouds up. We'll see some rain during the afternoon and evening. Saturday's high 52. Likely to see some showers heading into Sunday with highs in the 50s again. 44 right now. It's cloudy in Midtown. We're going down to 39. I'm Accuweather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins.
With news time at 4:56, we're going to check in and get a quick update now. Bloomberg Money Watch's Andrew O'Day. Andrew.
Stock indexes spent most, but not all of today higher after yesterday's run up. Today, the Dow ended higher by 496, S&P up 28, NASDAQ down 34 as traders consider details and prospects for passage of the $2 trillion stimulus deal struck early this morning and slated to receive a full Senate vote. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day, 1010 Wins.
With news time 4:57.
Brokers are not Ford authorized dealers. Drive for much, much less from the only real Ford dealer in Brooklyn. Premier Ford. Like your new 2020 Ford Explorer 4x4, just $199 a month. You heard me right. Each your new 2020 Ford Explorer 4x4, just $199 a month, 36 short months, $48.39 due at inception, 0 security deposit, plus tax, tags, and fees. Explorer to Edge, Fusion F-150, and the all-new Escape, 2 incredible locations, over 600 vehicles in stock. We have your Ford. So take your premier pick. Kings Highway at Utica Avenue or 86th Street, just off exit 19 on the BQE. Double the selection, double the savings at the only real Ford dealer in Brooklyn. Premier Ford today. Yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay.
All offers with Tier 1 credit approval. See dealer for complete details. Expires 3/31/20.
Warm weather is on its way, and your backyard is calling. Can you hear it? If your yard needs a little TLC, Walmart's got you covered. Tackle all your projects with new tools, like the exclusive Hart cordless 20-inch push mower. Hart's entire range is powered by a rechargeable 40-volt battery, so you'll enjoy fade-free power from first cut to last. Skip the extra trip to the home improvement store and get high-performance power tools at Walmart. Easy to pull off and easy on your budget. Shop now at Walmart.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities, or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities, and the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
With news time 4:59.
WINS, WINS HD, WNEW HD3 New York.
A radio.com station. 1010 Wins Accuweather. AccuWeather says damp and chilly tonight with some leftover rain and drizzle. Clearing late, low 39 degrees in Midtown. Tomorrow, partly sunny and milder, high 55. It is 44 degrees now under a cloudy sky in New York. We have some light rain coming down in spots. We are going down to 39 in Midtown. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Matt Blazzo, Zach Newman, Tanya Mercado are our service aides. Justin Schrager's the writer. Kyle McMorrow at the editor's desk. I'm Lori Madden.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wings. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 44 degrees at 5 o'clock. I'm Donna Vaughn, and here's what's happening. Coronavirus cases still surging across New York, but Governor Cuomo has some positive news today.
Can you slow the rate of infection? Yes. How do you know? Look at what we did in Westchester.
He says social distancing efforts seem to be slowing it down. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea tells 1010 Winds that the NYPD does have virus cases and a lot of cops calling in sick, but it has not hurt operations yet. In Washington, the Senate should be voting today on that giant stimulus package to give the economy a much-needed shot in the arm. But Governor Cuomo says New York's portion falls way too short. And lawyers for jailed entertainer Bill Cosby apparently hope this coronavirus can help get the convicted sex offender out of jail. 1010 Winds AccuWeather, skies should be clearing a little tonight, low 39, milder afternoon tomorrow, high 55, sunshine mixing with clouds.
This is Andrew O'Day at Bloomberg. Down, up, ultimately mixed day for Wall Street as traders follow prospects for passage of the $2 trillion stimulus. Dow ends up 496, NASDAQ down 34.
Winds News Time 5:01, traffic in transit now. We have an expanded report from Greg Rice.
Well, Donna, here's the deal in New Jersey. You've got one must avoid. It's in Paramus. It is Route 17. We are shut down between A&S Drive and Linwood Avenue. Tractor trailer caught fire, took down a pole, made a mess. But you can go right to the Garden State Parkway, and it's like nothing ever happened. It's that good over there today. Hutchinson River Parkway improves in the Bronx over near Orchard Beach. New England Thruway stays the good ride it's been. So you've got options. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Very little. Across the Hudson, across the East River to and from Staten Island, up the East River, and the Mario Cuomo, everything in tip-top shape. Alternate side, that'll remain suspended in the cities or at least next Tuesday, March 31st. Earliest, you'd have to move the car in the city, April. New Jersey Transit, they are already on an enhanced holiday schedule. The LIRR Metro North air changes kick in on Friday. You'll have on the LIRR peak service maintained during rush hour, but off-peak service vastly reduced. Metro North, they are going to hourly service round the clock on the Hudson, Harlem, and New Haven line. They'll supplement it a bit during rush hour. Traffic sponsored by Burden LLP, accountants and advisors. As today's environment caused you to be uncertain about your financial future, let Burden serve as your trusted advisor and create innovative tax solutions to help protect you, your family, and your business. Visit BERDONLLP.com. Burden Accountants and Advisors. We listen, we solve, we do. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Winds.
Well, President Trump and his coronavirus task force will be giving their daily briefing shortly. We will, of course, go to that live when that happens. In the meantime, as the number of confirmed cases of coronavirus surges past 30,000 in New York State, that's up 4,400 in just the past day, Governor Cuomo says there are early signs that social distancing is having a positive impact and could be slowing the spread of the virus. Also, President Trump tweeting earlier that he's working very hard to help New York as field hospitals go up at the Javits Center and with additional ventilators on the way as well. Now, that said, positive cases here in the 5 boroughs have now hit over 17,800 according to the mayor's office, including at least 660 patients and in ICU and 199 deaths. New York continues to face shortages of critical medical supplies, and there are concerns about how helpful the $2 trillion federal stimulus deal would actually be for this state. 1010 Winds reporter Julia Papa has the latest. Governor Cuomo playing nice with the White House, working on getting much-needed ventilators to New York, but he's not happy with the stimulus package.
It would really be terrible for the state of New York.
He says it provides only a small amount of the funds needed to aid government and business. The governor says social distancing is working and that it's slowing the number of hospitalizations. But State Health Commissioner Howard Zucker challenged the administration's call to quarantine if you recently visited New York City.
I would not follow that. I believe that you should follow the guidelines in general. So you should social distance.
Juliet Papa, 1010 Wins News. Now, these have been trying times for the city's essential personnel working to keep the city safe during a pandemic. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea reports there are now 236 department employees who tested positive for COVID-19, including close to 200 police officers, with 3,200 members of the force calling out sick today. The commissioner called in live earlier to 1010 Wins and talked about some of the challenges that they're now facing.
We are definitely taking a hit in terms of members reporting sick. It's moving through, and not just the city, certainly through the department as well. But we are in a position where we can move resources around, and we are hour by hour.
He also said that although officers have been keeping an eye on social distancing, he doesn't expect police to have to write summonses, which would be a last resort, he says. Well, social distancing and the complete shutdown of non-essential businesses in the city means a lot of empty subway cars and deserted stations. But the New York City subway continues to run for public safety reasons, and now the MTA appears to be getting a $4 billion lifesaver from Washington.
With ridership and toll receipts crashing, MTA Chair Pat Foy is grateful for the relief package from Washington.
The relief package includes the $25 billion requested by public transit agencies across the nation, including $4 billion dedicated to the MTA.
Foy adds there are no plans for a fare hike above the previously announced 2%. He adds that more government funding may be needed.
For one thing, we don't know how long the pandemic is going to continue and how extensive the financial damage is going to be.
Foy adds that just implemented service cuts mean 25% less, but he says it strikes a balance between moving essential workers and sending some of the MTA workforce home. Al Jones, 1010 Wins News.
Well, a sobering message today from Mayor de Blasio. He gave the first of what he's calling his daily message with the mayor address, a video briefing and coronavirus update. And he had some sobering news today. The mayor predicts that the virus will be with the city for months and that half of New Yorkers are likely to be infected before it is over. Most should see less serious symptoms, he says, but for a lot of other people, it is going to be tough. Well, President Trump and his coronavirus task force now giving their daily briefing at the White House. Let's go to that live right now. It looks like that will be getting underway actually shortly, and we will of course have that for you when it happens. Now, Mayor de Blasio in that daily address that he gave earlier praised essential personnel and asked New Yorkers to support
pregnant women out there.
Sophia Hall, WCBS News Radio 880.
The show will not go on, at least not as scheduled. The 74th Annual Tony Awards were set to be held Sunday, June 7th. The broadcast on CBS from Radio City has been postponed to a later date. The American Theater Wing, which presents the annual award alongside the Broadway League, says the health and safety of the Broadway community, artists, and fans is the utmost importance for them. Broadway itself shut down on March 12th. We are expecting a couple of briefings later on this hour, one from the White House Coronavirus Task Force scheduled for 5:30. We'll hear from Mayor de Blasio scheduled for 5:45. Those things have changed a bit, but once those get underway, we will take you there. 5:07 traffic and weather coming up.
New Jersey Transit is currently operating on a modified schedule. For the latest schedule information, visit njtransit.com or download the New Jersey Transit mobile app. Travel should be limited to essential personnel only.
I'm PBA President Pat Lynch. Right now, police officers, healthcare workers, and so many other essential employees are heading to work. We can't stay home. Our mission comes first. We have to protect you on the front lines of a global health crisis. And we're not just battling the virus. We're still fighting crime, responding to emergencies, and keeping our city running. Yes, these are the jobs we signed up for. But we aren't the only ones who sacrifice. Our families are sacrificing along with us, and they bear the greatest burden. They support us through long hours and uncertain schedules. They share our stress and our fatigue. And if we're exposed to the virus at work, they could be exposed too. So when you think about the cops and other frontline workers who are still on the job and at risk, remember, we aren't alone. Our families are on the front lines too. And they deserve all of our respect.
Paid for by the Police Benevolent Association of the City of New York, Inc.
508 at WCBS. We check traffic and weather together on the 8s with Tom Kaminsky. All right, right, Kevin, let's start first off in Nassau County. Really no delays on the LIE Northern or Southern State Parkways, and it has gotten better on Wantagh Parkway. Northbound Old Country Road, we did have a truck that had gotten onto the roadway. It is now cleared. At least those travel lanes have been reopened. We've had delays, though, in New Jersey on Route 17 now. For the better part of 2 hours, we've had everything shut. Both ways on Route 17 in the area of Ridgewood Avenue in Paramus. In fact, it is shut down between A&S Drive and Linwood Avenue. We had a tractor-trailer collision, a fire. We had down utility poles, down wires. So there's been quite a bit of police activity there. If you can, go to the Garden State Parkway, which is going to be a very good alternate for you around all of that, as long as you're in a non-commercial vehicle. Just a note for you, on the Garden State Parkway, as well as the New Jersey Turnpike, cashless tolls. We have no cash being exchanged or no cash transactions on the Turnpike or the Garden State Parkway. It is Easy Pass only, and it has been that way for several days already at the Lincoln and Holland and GWB, so just be mindful of that. I'm Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center. We get the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Craig Allen. Craig, it seems like if you don't like the weather, just wait a day.
That's right. Every other day, something different coming along from this forecast. Now, we did not get too much rain today. A really nasty day nonetheless, because it's only in the 40s. We have a brisk northeast wind. It's chilly, it's raw, and but the good news is that the steadiest, heaviest rain is offshore to the south and east. Now that goes away. Partial clearing, lows 35 to 40, and we have a good day tomorrow, high 54 to 58. Tomorrow night, though, the clouds come back, and the rain develops late at night after midnight, 40 to 45, and we start the day on Friday with some rain, and then variably cloudy for the afternoon. We get enough breaks in those clouds, 55 to 60. And during the weekend, far from perfect. Not a complete washout, but there will be some rain during the weekend as well. 45 now, humidity 68%, and that chilly northeast wind is gusting up to 26 miles per hour.
Thank you, Craig. Connecticut hasn't been spared by the outbreak of COVID-19. Today, we're learning among those who have died, an 83-year-old senior athlete. Mary Roman died from the coronavirus at Norwalk Hospital on Monday. The mayor there saying Roman served as city clerk for 2 decades. Among her achievements, several American awards in shot put. Roman is one of 19 Connecticut residents that we know of so far that have died from the coronavirus. Judges and lawyers are being told to go back to work, at least at the Manhattan Immigration Court. The Varick Street Courthouse was closed yesterday because of a confirmed case of COVID-19. It was cleaned and then reopened today. The National Association of Immigration Judges says the Justice Department is failing to protect its employees and the public they serve. 511 at WCBS.
When you go to the mechanic in here,
Pass me the torque whip. Nope, let me have the flamethrower.
that sounds wrong. You know what else sounds wrong? When you hear about the interest you're earning on your savings with the largest banks. But with the Marcus by Goldman Sachs online savings account, you could earn much more interest. And hear this. Open a Marcus by Goldman Sachs online savings account in minutes at Marcus.com. You can money.
Comparison rates of the 3 largest U.S. banks measured by total deposits. Rates as of February 4th, 2020 and may vary by state. Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC.
When you're diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer,
A lot of questions run through your mind.
what am I going to do? What are my options? What did I do wrong? We've had those thoughts too.
But some questions can help you move forward.
Visit findyourmbcvoice.com for an interactive guide to help you learn the next steps to take after an MBC diagnosis and how to ask the questions that lead to an open and informed conversation with your doctor.
Start finding your voice today
at findyourmbcvoice.com.
513 at WCBS. We check sports first, sponsored by CertaPro Painters. Here's Rich Ackerman.
Professional athletes have taken to social media to do their part, hoping their messages to be safe will resonate. The Timberwolves' Karl Anthony Towns told his story today in a 6-minute video. His mother is in a medically induced coma in a New Jersey hospital due to the coronavirus. Towns implored people to stay safe inside and practice social distancing. Local product and Dayton All-American Obi Toppin is entering the NBA draft. The Jets have reportedly come to terms with linebacker Patrick Owusu on a 1-year deal. He was formerly with the Ravens. They've also re-signed linebacker Neville Hewitt and defensive back Bennett Jackson. I'm Rich Ackerman, WCBS 880 Sports.
Think spring. It's Tom Kaminsky for CertaPro Painters. Winter weather can really wreck the outside of your home. Chipping, fading, peeling paint. Time to spring into action and call CertaPro Painters. Painting is an investment, so choosing the right company is key. That's why I've trusted CertaPro Painters for over a decade. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters. We do painting, you do life. New Yorkers, stay home. By staying home, you are doing your part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Together, we can protect the most vulnerable and our healthcare workers. When you go out for essential needs, don't forget to keep your distance between yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Cover your nose and mouth when you sneeze or cough. For the latest information, text COVID to 692-692 or visit nyc.gov/coronavirus. Is your marketing more fairy tale than reality? In real life, the tortoise gets crushed. Good products don't sell themselves, and out of sight means out of business. Didit delivers marketing for today. DIDIT.com. You're never more than 15 minutes from the big stories on WCBS. Good afternoon, I'm Kevin Rincon. 3 things to know at 5:15. One, density control might be working. Governor Cuomo says on Sunday, hospitalizations were doubling every 2 days. As of today, that's closer to 5. But warns the virus is still spreading all throughout New York. 2, the Senate emergency rescue bill was agreed on, but some have now raised objections. A few Republicans have issues with the language surrounding unemployment insurance. Senator Bernie Sanders says if those objections aren't dropped, he will delay a vote to impose stronger conditions on what he calls a $500 billion corporate welfare fund. And 3, the rescue package being hammered out in D.C. does provide some relief for transit agencies, among them the MTA, which stands to get $4 billion. WCBS reporter Steve Burns says it'll still need more. The MTA is hemorrhaging money, about $125 million a week, as the vast majority of its usual riders stay home.
This drop is on top of sizable losses on more than $6 billion in state and local taxes dedicated to the MTA.
MTA Chairman Pat Foy's request of $4 billion worth of help from Washington has been granted.
The $4 billion is an extraordinary thing,
but Foy's now hoping it's just the first installment.
We will need additional funding.
The new Essential Service Plan is gradually going into effect across subways, buses, and commuter rail over the coming days. It reduces service by about 25%. Like other agencies, Foy does say staffing levels are becoming a challenge. He's not revealing how many workers are calling out sick or quarantining, but he does say 52 have tested positive for coronavirus. Steve Burns, WCBS News Radio 880. It's 5:17 at WCBS. Talk of inviting people to return to their normal lives for the sake of the economy, drawing criticism from a top public health official. We get more on that with WCBS reporter Peter Haskell.
There were a lot of these warnings about the virus, and it's lived up to its advanced billing.
We've confirmed, in a sense, our worst fears about how rapidly this virus can get out of control.
Erwin Redletter heads the National Center for Disaster Preparedness at Columbia. The thought of ending social restrictions is terrifying.
To, quote-unquote, get business back is a absolutely foolish idea.
Redletter says that could lead to a resurgence of the virus and more deaths. Peter Haskell, WCBS News Radio 880.
For a complete conversation with Dr. Redletter, listen to our podcast 880 In Depth. Look for it wherever you find your podcast. 518 at WCBS. Traffic and weather together on the 8, sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Here's Tom Kaminsky.
Sorry, Kevin, we've been tracking this collision that we've had in either direction on Route 17. We had a collision about 3 o'clock this afternoon at Ridgewood Avenue in Paramus. We had a tractor-trailer fire. We had down utility poles, down wire. We're starting to see some movement now in either direction in that stretch between A&S Drive at Paramus Park and Linwood Avenue. So still some big delays for at least a mile in either direction. But again, we are starting to what appear to be some lanes open now. Garden State Parkway, if you think that will still be a better alternate for you. We go through Fairfield County, just getting a glance at the Connecticut Turnpike and the Merritt Parkway. No delays there. Through Westchester County, no problems on Route 287. Northbound New York State Thruway getting into Rockland County on the northbound thruway across the Cuomo-Tappan Zee Bridge. No delays there. We do have an O3 on the east side. The southbound side, or I should say the northbound side of the FDR, looks a little bit slow right in the area of the RFK Bridge. We had some ongoing construction work at that location.
Getting your refund paying huge dealer fees at Major World. You'll only pay a $75 dealer fee. Major World, just straight up honest pricing. Visit MajorWorld.com or call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO. We get the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Craig Allen. A lot of clouds, luckily not as much rain as we may have thought.
That's right. This one mainly offshore to the south and east of us, and we still have some sprinkles and light showers that are scattered about out there. But this one will now head on out to sea. It is chilly and damp. There's no doubt about that part. It's in the mid-40s. 35 to 40 will be our low tonight. Tomorrow, a much nicer day. Sunny most of the time. High 54 to 58. But towards the end of the day, Thursday night becomes a 5-day forecast. And for the weekend, some sunshine giving way to clouds on Saturday, with periods of rain developing, especially late Saturday and Saturday night, 50 to 55. And again, we have to deal with at least a few periods of rain on Sunday. May not be a total washout, but some wet weather expected. And Sunday's high between 50 and 55. Right now, still overcast, only 45 degrees, humidity 68% with a northeast wind 14 to 26 miles per hour. A few more sprinkles around, then clearing later tonight.
Thank you, Craig. 520 at WCBS. Governor Cuomo's daily coronavirus briefings have become must-see TV, not just for New Yorkers, but people all across the country. WCBS reporter Marla Diamond with more.
His empathy and candor have made Andrew Cuomo an unlikely nationwide star of the coronavirus crisis. The hashtag Cuomo for President started trending on Twitter Tuesday. Lee Nieringhoff, director of the Marist College poll, says Cuomo is connecting with people in an uncertain time.
Right now, providing both of the tactician that he always was, plus a little bit of the philosopher king and the warmth that his father used to project. And so he's sort of now the full package.
Even President Trump has taken notice. His team so far has scheduled his appearances after Cuomo's daily briefing. Marla Diamond, WCBS News Radio 880.
Phone companies are looking to see if people are in fact self-isolating and social distancing. CBS News correspondent Jim Sheneby explains.
The GSMA, an international group that sets standards for the mobile phone industry, reportedly has held discussions about creating a global data sharing system that would track individuals through their mobile devices all around the world. The Guardian newspaper reports the discussions involve mobile operators and technology companies in the U.S. and at least a half dozen other countries about using phone location and usage data to determine whether coronavirus isolation orders are being obeyed. Jim Sheneby, CBS News.
WCBS News Time 522.
Dish and Digital, by Paul Bernay. With tens of millions of Americans sheltering in place to stop the spread of coronavirus, Amazon is seeing a surge in online orders, and it's planning to hire 100,000 more warehouse and delivery workers to meet the demand, and is going to temporarily boost the hourly rate from $15 to $17 an hour. Amazon also announced workers in its delivery network will receive double time for every hour worked over 40 through May 9th. It's encouraging workers displaced in the hospitality, restaurant, and travel industries to apply. The surge in demand has led to longer delivery times. Amazon says it's prioritizing household items and medical supplies, and is also temporarily suspending its Prime Pantry grocery delivery service. Dish and Digital, I'm Paul Bernay. There's more at WCBS880.com/Dish and Digital. I mean, he didn't even touch the plate. There was so many people out there.
Yeah.
So it had to be, maybe it was 77 and 78. I clearly remember though in 80, and maybe that wasn't the first time, the police and the horses in Philadelphia. I do remember that.
It may, you know what it may have been? I think it may have been 78. That may have been the answer.
It was definitely, if you watched it, if you haven't seen the Chris Chambliss game,
which is another game you should watch. You know, Game 5 and they don't have the whole game on YouTube, which is crazy. Yeah, doesn't ES show that game occasionally? If they have, you know, it's funny, if they have, that's amazing to me that it is on YouTube. I have not been able to find that whole game on YouTube. I thought yes, it showed that game a couple times, but maybe I'm wrong about that, but the people, you know, they are like I said, I don't think Chambliss will tell you. I don't even think he ever touched all plate with that craziness. Yep. Let's go to Anthony in North Carolina. What's up, Anthony? Anthony, how are you? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you? I'm doing good, trying to hold up with no sports. It's kind of killing me, but, you know, we got this 500 miles away. I still listen to you guys. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thanks, man. All right. I just want to give a quick story. Last year, Game 4, the Islanders against the Hurricanes. So, obviously, not a big Islander fans. I'm an Islander fan. So I go over there, and I'm all decked out in my Islander gear. I'm the only one, man. They tore me apart in there, guys. They tore me apart. Like, I had bruises in my face, the whole thing. I was like, oh my God.
Anthony, I give you a lot of credit because you went to an environment where most Islander fans are not getting on a plane. They're not going down to Raleigh when they're down on Crete. You live down here too. Right. So he doesn't travel. Hence the reason why you decided to go. And if memory serves correct, they had a lead in this game. I think Matthew Barzal scored an early goal, and then it was after that, it was just get it back. But you went into an environment in which the odds are there will be very few Islander fans. If the Islanders are up 3-0, it's a different story. If it's game 1, it's a different story. But once they're down 0-3, you had to know going in, you were not exactly going to be surrounded by a lot of friendly faces. Indeed. I give someone credit to go to a road playoff game when they're down 3-0. That's a lot. I commend you for that. Yeah, that's not easy. It's not easy, but look, if sometime in mid-November, the Mets and the Yankees are playing each other in the Subway World Series, and the Mets are down 0-3 with Game 4 at Yankee Stadium, not going to lie to you, I'll probably be there. Nice. Nice, yeah, really. Unless it begins some kind of comeback, it ain't going to be nice. That's right. Right. Lee is on Long Island. Hey, Lee. Lee, how are you?
Hey. Joe, how are you, sir? Good. Okay, better than I know, I'm sure. So,
better than Noah. What is the situation? I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if I would go there, to be honest with you, but nevertheless, go ahead.
I actually wanted to just, I guess, vent thing, right? Because I know that if what Boomer said about the contract they offered Robbie Anderson is true, then there's very little the Jets could have done other than overpay for the guy.
Wanted to go with Matt Rule, I guess, you know?
But the problem is, and I called you and I spoke to you this weekend, Evan, and I said the same thing, is that what I saw them do to Mark Sanchez, and I feel like they're starting to do it to Sam Donald, there's no consistency with the skill position players, and when you're developing a quarterback, you need consistency in the huddle, and they don't have that. And if you remember Mark Sanchez's first couple of years, every year he had different receivers, you know, from Brad Smith and Cotchery to Holmes and Braylon Edwards, and then Plaxico Burress in his third year coming out of prison and all that. And now Sam Donald, you know, last year, obviously Quincy Moonwa, it was not his fault, he gets injured, but he doesn't have Quincy Moonwa. He loses his tight end. Now he's going to lose Robbie Anderson. They're going to probably, and the worst part is they're probably not going to, because their skill positions are so depleted and they signed so many offensive linemen. I really feel like they're going to end up passing on one of the offensive linemen to get one of the big receivers on the top of the draft, and that would bother me because I feel like you need to build the offensive line in order to build around
the offensive line. So I agree with you, but there still are receivers back in later in the draft. There's so many receivers in this draft. You're still going to be able to get a guy in the second round that's going to be a pretty good guy, you know? Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, even though we all know the Jets are going to address wide receiver in this draft, it doesn't have to be in the first round. Yeah. I mean, I'm drawn in by the appeal of that, but just because they could have their pick of the litter, they could still use a couple of third-round picks on receivers, a second. Right. I think they're walking out of this draft with at least at minimum 2 receivers. Probably. At minimum. Probably. I keep looking at it, trying to think what game I was watching where I saw these horses getting ready at Yankee Stadium, and
I don't know, maybe you're right. Maybe it wasn't.
It probably had to be the 70. It must have been the 77 World Series, because 78 they won it.
Dodger Stadium, right.
So it could have been that one. So it must have been the Reggie Jackson 3 home run night.
Well, you know what
I'm telling you, 76, man, they are flooding.
No, you're nuts. The only one I'm thinking of it could be, because you know what game I randomly watched? Not the whole game, but parts of it, was Yankees-Brewers Game 581 Divisional Series.
Oh, that could be.
So maybe it was that one.
Yeah, that could be that. It could be that game. It could be that game. Because I always thought 1980
you may be right.
was the game. I think even in 77 when the Yankees won, I think there were people on the field for that game, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the one I may be thinking of is 81, so it's after Philadelphia.
I'm pretty sure it was the Philly guy. I remember what a big, oh my God. I remember even like, Washington did the game. This one,
And Wade Boggs made the horses famous in 1980.
Wow.
Hanging in, living my best quarantine life.
Well said. Keep it up.
Trying to get through the sports, getting my football fix while I was free agency, trying to play MLB this show to get my baseball fix. But I have a great baseball trivia question. Evan, I actually tried to tweet you when you guys had Howie Rose on the other day, because I would have loved to hear him try and get this.
All right.
But there are only 3 pitchers in the MLB to ever have multiple Cy Young, multiple no-hitters or perfect games, and multiple World Series.
Oh boy. I mean, Sandy Koufax is one of them. You say multiple no-hitters, multiple World Championships, and multiple Cy Youngs, right?
That's one of them.
Sandy's definitely one of them. Let's see, multiple World Series, multiple Cy Young.
Roger doesn't have multiple no-hitters, Clemens, right?
So no, I don't think he does. Multiple no-hitters.
Oh, I got one. Oh, wait, he only has one? Yeah. I had somebody in mind, but now that I think about it,
I have a case that pertains to the last 2.
Multiple Cy Young. So you had to win more than one Cy Young, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Alright, so both of these players, up until I think 3-4 years ago, technically, were still playing.
Technically, we're still playing. They were still playing. Technically,
I think one was on an active roster for a little bit and came off.
Oh, wow, this is a tough one.
Yeah, it really is. It's interesting.
Sandy's the easy one.
Because you can find guys who have 2 of the 3, but all 3 is a little tricky.
Yeah. Multiple World Championships. It's tough.
With the no-hitters, too. That's also
right. You got more than one no-hitter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many guys have done that?
All right, one more hit. one person did it with multiple teams. One person did it with the same team.
What do you mean multiple? But which part? The championships, the Cy Youngs?
The World Series.
Did it with multiple teams. This is a hell of a question.
Yeah, I got to handle it.
I like it, even though we can't be
If you want an easy answer?
Sure.
One is still playing.
One is still playing?
Multiple World Championships and the guy's still playing?
And one was recently.
Oh, wait, Justin Verlander.
He only has one.
Yeah, he only has one.
He only has one championship.
Right.
No. Yes, two.
He has 2 one. He only has 1
championship. He didn't win last year. Houston didn't win last year.
Yeah, he only has 1 title.
And he was on the Tiger team that was in the World Series. They didn't win.
Right. He only has 1 World Championship.
1.
Uh-oh. Brian, you screwed up the question.
Come on. You still there, Brian?
I'm baffled.
Oh, you're embarrassed. So who is the other guy? Who is the other guy? If Verlander is, so who is the other one?
Tim Lincecum.
Tim Lincecum.
Well, Tim Lincecum does have the 2 Cy Youngs and does have the 2 World Champions.
Does have the 2 championships.
Did Lincecum pitch 2 no-hitters?
No, you remember?
Yeah, he did.
He might have to.
He pitched one early in his career.
I think you're right. He does have 2 no-hitters.
Okay, so then you know what? You got that one right, but you screwed up the Verlander part.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made getting to the World Series twice, which is
Verlander won to 3. He was one
3, yeah.
With the Tigers.
1 with Detroit, 2 with Houston, yeah.
But he only won the 1.
Lincecum is so fascinating when you think about what he's accomplished.
Right.
Like he mentioned.
He was like a meteor.
Oh, yeah.
They came and went very quickly, Lincecum.
What? And we would never consider him for the Hall of Fame.
Never.
We would never. And yet...
And you don't even, and I gotta be honest with you, when he starts hitting me with those pitches, I'm not thinking about anybody like that.
You know, but it's funny, he's right on about how Lincecum was on a roster, because I know he went to spring training as a reliever with, I think, Texas a couple of years ago, but he had looking at his numbers right now, I wouldn't even say it was 3 Hall of Fame seasons. I'd say the guy had basically the 2 Cy Young years.
Right.
And outside of that, he was okay for a couple years, and then he fell off the rooftop.
Yeah.
But he's got multiple Cy Youngs back-to-back, multiple no-hitters, and obviously was on 3 giant championship teams.
Yeah.
He is a fascinating guy to look at throughout history.
Yeah.
But Verlander part was wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah. So there's only two, not 3 that have done that.
So Sandy Koufax and Tim Lincecum.
Those are the guys.
Wow. That's funny. Let's go to Rob in Tom's River. Hey, Rob.
Rob, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? Joe, this is mostly for you. You probably wouldn't remember this. What I remember going back, and I saw this on YouTube, in 1980 NFL season, the Giants hosted the Denver Broncos, which was supposed to be an NBC game.
Okay.
And they didn't show the game. They showed the Steelers and the Browns. And this one would be all of the pain, bro. The Saints and the Jets game at Shea Stadium, CBS game. But it wasn't actually in New York. They showed the Eagles and the Cardinals. And what I remember is watching it because they interrupted the game for the ceremony for John Lennon for a half hour. But they were...
Because even though the blackout got lifted in I believe it was 1976 was the last year of the blackout, but there still was a caveat to the blackouts. And that is that if the game was not sold out, I think it was 72 hours or whatever before kickoff, that the game was not going to be on local TV. And I think that's the reason, because you're right, that game was not on TV. And it was the Sunday, the Jet-Saint game was the Sunday after John Lennon was killed, which was the Monday prior to that. And that turned out to be, by the way, the only game that the Saints won that year. That was the only game the Saints won in 1980. And of course, who else would they beat but the Jets? The Jets were 4-12. I think that's the reason it wasn't on TV, though, because the blackout still had those restrictions that if the game was not sold out, the Jets were terrible. They were 4-12, so I could imagine that the game wasn't. Because it was towards the end of the year. It was late December, or wherever it was, middle of December. And that's the only reason I could think that game was not on TV, because you're right, it wasn't on TV.
Richie in Brightwater. Hey, Richie.
Richie, how are you?
Hey, Joe, before I get to the point, the Top Channel's really doing an awful job. I mean, what they're showing...
put it on. What are they got on?
Joe, they're showing the house on 50 times, the women saying they go. They're not even going into the classics. They're not going into, I just, to me, even the NBA channel, and I want to get to my point, I would watch that more if they did more expo days on the players themselves and, the old school guys, instead of these stupid games. I don't watch the games over and over again. I watched them. I was a kid, I saw them all.
No, I disagree with that. I was watching Game 6 the other day on NBA TV of the Lakers and the Celtics in 85.
Yeah, it was 3,000 times, Joe.
I haven't seen it 1,000 times.
Joe, can I get to the point where I always right? Something that you brought up years and years. I want to call you about this. When I was a kid, I grew up a big Jim Rice fan. Right? And my brother had American player, national player. Okay. And it always bothers me when you say that Gibby should have won that MVP in '78. And I want to tell you why he should. Number one, 163 games played. Number two, 400 total bases. Hadn't been done since Ted Williams when he did that. Okay, a 40-something player had that. He had the 42 runs, 139 RBIs, 315, 415 hits. Whatever, how many home runs probably got missed. He would have hit 60 that year if he wasn't playing in that stadium, probably. And he basically put that team on his back because all the rookies, Shoots was broken down, Jerry Grammy, Hobson, none of them were even on his level on that team. So I get what you're saying, that Gidry had a great year, and as a kid, I'm a Mets fan, and I still would watch every time he pitched when Gidry was out there. But come on, Joe, 163 games. He was the best player in the league. I mean, playing in an era when there was just dominant players, and you have to put that back. I want you to take it.
Well, look, I mean, he won it. I mean, but look, Guidry had a historic year. The guy went 25-3. He had a 1.74 ERA. I mean, he was unbelievable. Guidry that year, as good a year as any pitcher ever had. And I'm not knocking Jim Rice. Jim Rice was great. And that team still, I understand what you're saying there, but that Red Sox team was still pretty good. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, how many Hall of Famers on that team? You had Yaz, you had Fisk, you had Rice on that team, you had Dennis Eckersley on that team was in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that was pretty good. You had guys like Fred Lynn on that team. You had Dwight Evans on that team. That was a good team. Real good team. That's funny. He wants you to take it back. Take it back, Joe. But that Red Sox team, I mean, look, they won 99 games that year. That Red Sox team won 99 games. They lost. They blew the big lead to the Yankees. No doubt about it. But Guidry, that was and Rice had a phenomenal year. I'm not looking at the numbers. You're right. 46 homers, 139 RBIs, all of that. Tremendous. No doubt. But I mean, to me, Guidry had a historic year that year for a pitcher. It was historic. But it's one of those things where it's the old debate. I mean, Ron Guidry had a brilliant year as a starter, but as a starting pitcher, even in 1978, it's 35 starts, it's 270 innings. As compared to a position player who plays every day and played 163 games and had, as you said, a brilliant season. Guy had 46 home runs with 139 RBIs. Look, Rice is a tremendous player. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not disputing that at all. But how do you compare it? I mean, you're comparing offensive numbers to pitching numbers for two teams that ultimately ended up in the same place of playing game 163. That is correct. So it's really the old, do you value the pitcher versus do you value the position player who played every day argument? Because they both had amazing seasons. And just to tell our call, I mean, I was rooting for the Red Sox that year. I mean, if you believe me, I was. I rooted for them in that game. I mean, I rooted for them in that game like I was watching the Mets, to be honest with you. That game. So, but I always felt Guidry deserved it, and I'm not taking anything away from Jim Rice because he was a tremendous player. He had that great year. I just felt Guidry was the guy. Here's what we can do. Here's what we can do for Richie and for you, Joe, to break this argument. We can go somewhere to get an answer, a definitive answer, and that, of course, is war. Who had a higher war? Oh my God! Yeah, who had the higher war? Are you ready? Who? The guy with the highest war in 1978 was Ron Guidry. Okay. So you win. I don't know if I win. War defends Joe. And by the way, Jim Rice did not have the second highest war. There was actually somebody else. Really? Who had a high. It's a pitcher, so it's kind of. What team was he on? The Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee Brewers had a great year. Looking at his numbers now, fantastic numbers. Not Guidry numbers, but very good. Starting pitcher was starting pitcher. Yeah. Mike Caldwell. Nailed it. Mike Caldwell. That season went 22-9 with a 2.36 ERA. And actually threw more innings than Guidry. Threw 293 innings. Interesting. Yeah, no, had a hell of a year. I mean, he wasn't Guidry when you look at most of the numbers. No. But according to WAR, the WAR agrees with Joe Beningo. Yeah, just for the record. Interesting. We'll come right back with more of your calls. Beningo and Roberts here on the Fan. This is Tiki Barber with a Radio.com Sports Minute. A month ago, there was a developing debate about the merits of the NFL Scouting Combine. A lot of the top names choose not to work out, preferring instead to do so at their private workouts at their respective colleges or universities. So they simply get measured and do interviews. As a result, some teams didn't even bother to send their assistant coaches to Indianapolis to scout, opting to wait until the on-campus workouts. But roughly a month ahead of the draft, with the world of professional turmoil and most businesses, schools, and other organizations shut down, pro days for college prospects have been canceled. Teams haven't collected nearly enough intel and feel like their evaluation processes have been hijacked. Despite this, the NFL refuses to postpone the draft scheduled for April 23rd. This is tone deaf to the realities of the situation. Some teams' futures truly depend on solid draft picks, and it's simply unfair to force them to draft without proper preparation. This is Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, and we want to help your house feel more like a home with some of the lowest refinancing rates ever. The rates have dropped so much that many Americans can reduce their rate. You may be able to save money on your monthly mortgage payment right now. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%.
APR 4.23%. Call us at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rates subject to change. Pay 2% because this discount rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Exxon and Mobil present How to be Supremium. First, fill your tank with Exxon Mobil Supremium Fuel. Synergy Supreme Plus. It keeps your engine 2 times cleaner for better gas mileage. Then get the rest of your car 2 times cleaner. My rims are so shiny they can be seen from space. That's on pictures. So clean your engine with Exxon and Mobil Synergy Supreme Plus. It's supreme. It's premium. It's Supremium. Fill up today or go to Exxon.com for details.
Synergy Supreme Plus gas compared to Synergy regular gas and core fuel injected engines. Benefits based on continuous use and may vary.
Drive your business forward in a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Cargo, crew or passenger van from Ray Katina. Now available in both gas and diesel engines, so it's ready for any job you take on. Plus, get 0% financing on select models, all at Mercedes-Benz Sprinter of Edison.
To all first responders and essential personnel, WFAN wants you to know how New York feels about you.
Shout out to all the doctors and nurses and first responders in New York City. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We'll get through this together. Thank you from Sports Radio 1019 FM and Sports Radio 66, WFAN, and WFAN FM New York, a radio.com sports station.
During these challenging times, Jersey Mike's remains open to serve you, our loyal customers. You can order your favorite sub through the Jersey Mike's app or online for carryout or delivery. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Parents, do you want your child's shoes to fit perfectly? Then you need to get your kids Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Because Skechers Stretch Fit shoes easily slip on and fit almost like a sock. And not only do they fit like a dream, they perform like one too. Skechers Stretch Fit keeps your child's feet comfortable all day long with Skechers' exclusive air-cooled memory foam. Plus, you'll love just how durable they are. And if they get dirty, just pop them in the washing machine. Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Find them at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever kids' shoes are sold.
Traffic Center, I'm Greg Rice with a supplyhouse.com and highway patrol. No parkway in Brooklyn is safe. You don't want to bother with Ocean Parkway over to Avenue U. Everything's subject to closure with a bad-looking accident. North FDR Drive, north of 116th Street. Accident backed up from 90s. The avenues or the west side, they all provide a better ride. Hudson River bridges and tunnels, all in pretty decent shape. Alternate side suspended in the 5 boroughs through at least next Tuesday, March 31st. B, W, and Z service remains suspended, as do most of the 5 trains through Brooklyn. That's where they say the 2 train will treat you just fine instead. Traffic sponsored by your Tri-State Mercedes dealers. I'm Greg Rice with a supplyhouse.com fan highway patrol.
Your someday might just be today. With more affordable models than ever before, the spring event is a perfect time to consider that Mercedes-Benz you've been dreaming of. Go to mbusa.com/spring event to view inventory, offers, or to schedule a test drive today. In the Acura MDX with super handling all-wheel drive, you feel greater control behind the wheel. But you don't need to understand the how to feel the why. Visit your local Tri-Acura dealer today or online at triacuradealers.com.
Over the past dozen years, NYU Winthrop Hospital has established itself as the world's #1 center for the treatment of prostate cancer with CyberKnife radiation therapy. Recently, some have claimed that proton therapy is more advanced and more precise. Dr. Jonathan Haas, chairman of radiation oncology at NYU Winthrop, challenges those claims with proven data.
The facts are clear. CyberKnife is measurably more precise than proton therapy. There are fewer side effects, and our success rate has never been surpassed. What's more, CyberKnife treatment takes 5 brief appointments in a single week. Conventional proton treatment takes 9 weeks.
With so many claims out there today, it's important to choose a cancer treatment based on proven success.
I advise everyone, ask to see the data. I'm always happy to share our results and meet with any patient.
To learn more about CyberKnife or to speak with Dr. Haas, call 1-866-WINTHROP or visit nyuwinthrop.org. NYU Winthrop Hospital's CyberKnife program, now part of Perlmutter Cancer Center at NYU Langone.
5-Hour Energy is energy on the go. But what if you're not going anywhere for a while? Then 5-Hour Energy is energy for getting stuff done while you're stuck at home. Like doing an honest day's work for your boss. Getting rid of old clothes.
My old bell bottoms.
Scouring the grout in your shower. Working out on that old stationary bike. And so much more. Go to the store or order online at shop5hourenergy.com. 5-Hour Energy. Energy for hunkering down.
It
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down to my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
We're coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We got 10 more minutes to take your calls, and Mike will take over. Let us get our daily visit from Richard in Manhattan. Hi, Richard.
Richard. Maybe not.
Oh, wow.
We're not getting a daily visit from Richard.
Wow, that's surprising. I've kind of grown to expect that. Kenny is in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. What's going on, Kenny?
Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna ask you a question. First thing is, forget about the money, forget about the financial aspect. If you're a general manager and you could have one of these two players for the next, say, 6 or 7 years, who would you take, Severino or Syndergaard?
That's a good question.
I'm a Yankee fan, so I'm trying to get my bias.
It's a very tough call.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there.
They've had the same career pretty much. They both have they throw 99 and they throw sliders. I mean, they're very similar.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
I'm partial to Syndergaard because I'm a Met fan. So I mean,
I'm partial to Severino because I'm a Yankee fan.
Yeah, so
I think
you're splitting hairs. I think it's kind of a splitting hairs, you know.
Yeah, it's the only reason, and I'm trying to put my bias aside too. We all clearly have biases. Kenny is a Yankee fan. You and I as Met fans. I kind of lean towards Noah only because
playoffs.
It's a little bit of the postseason. Severino's had his moments, but they mostly haven't been good.
Have a good night.